Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Big J. This video is going to be about Spain versus the UK, or UK versus Spain. So, I thought we'd work through this systematically. First, let me tell you that I have been living in Spain for about 5 years. I'm originally from the UK. I did live in other countries before that. I lived in Australia. I lived in China for a while. So I'm not a complete novice to emigrating. So anyway, okay, let's get on with this. So work culture in Spain is considerably different to the UK. So in the UK, I got the feeling when I worked there that it was very competitive, that you're constantly trying to push yourself up above the competition, i.e. your other workmates, like your competition. So it wasn't the friendliest environment to live in all the time, like, because you basically live there 9 to 5, don't you? It's a lot. It's 40 hours of your week. So yeah. Whereas in Spain, the boss is even on your side. Like, you all work together, and the customer is your enemy, not your colleagues. So and maybe head office is your enemy. So you all look after each other. You make sure that life is as easy as it can possibly be by working together, basically. The number of times that I've walked into a shop and been asked, I've asked, can I get a refund on this, or do you know, or something that requires them to do something, and they will just they'll make up some bullshit excuse, and that's it, you're finished. You can't. There's no more discussion. Adios. Whereas if that happened in the UK, if the manager was in earshot or anything, then you'd be like, "What are you doing? This business needs to make money." So that's a weird one. It was a weird one to start off with. Holiday entitlements. Now, I thought that, okay, the first thing that you need to know is that in Spain, the contracts changed just after the crisis, and they changed some laws. One law, the labour law in particular, and people that are still on the old contracts still have a really good deal and are basically unfireable. You have to come into work drunk every single day and do absolutely no work, and even then, it's borderline. The company has to prove to the court that you're actually dragging the business down, or I think that even that they're going bankrupt. It's that harsh. These laws were made back in the 1970s at the height of socialism across Europe. And they were very, very much in favor of the employee. So but after the crisis, it was like reality check time. Okay, we got to we better like pull our socks up here because we've lost a lot of money. So then they said, okay, we've got some new contracts which are basically, whilst they're better than in the UK, you got those 0-hour contracts. Even in Spain, it's a bit crap, but they're only a bit better. So the young people generally are the ones that are on these new contracts, and you can wipe your ass with them. The start and stop when they finish, whatever. Yeah, not really worth much. And so because of that, those new holiday entitlements are actually less than the UK now. I think, if I remember rightly, it was it's like 3 weeks in Spain, and it's actually 4 weeks in the UK, if I got that right. The next one is workload. Well, because of the companionship, what's the word? The comradeship. Because of comradeship in Spain, you have um, like everybody working together. So basically, it's how can you get through the day with doing the least amount of work possible, which is great from an employee's perspective. So there's a lot less pressure to actually get anything done in that respect. But there's still the contracts issue, which I mentioned before. So they can still, if the boss thinks that you can send you home. So then there is the work hours. Well, the work hours. They take the middle of the day off. I mean that's again and very indicative of the attitude to work in general. They take the middle of the day off. Oh, but I have to admit, in the summertime it's bloody hot and your brain can't think. You know, there's so much heat that you just can't actually put like one thought in front of the next and actually process. It's like, Christ, all you want to do is just stop. And I totally get that. Middle of the summer, especially in the south, makes total sense. In the north of Spain, in the middle of winter, it makes zero sense. It's absolutely stupid, and everybody is just using it as an excuse not to work. It is so clear that that is the case. It's but there is movements to change that now. So they're talking about ending that. At the very least, just keep it in the summertime. So that would mean, so right now, normal working day starts early, like 8, maybe 9, and continues till 2 o'clock. And then you have from 2 till 5, siesta, or even if you're lucky, 1 till 5. And then you're back to work again from 5 till 8. As you can imagine, that creates 4 rush hours instead of 2. Total chaos. Welcome to Spain. So then there's then there's the face-to-face issue. So anything that requires a meeting of any kind, it's always preferred to be done face-to-face. It's highly inconvenient. It depends what you want in life. It is slowing things down, which makes your life easier. It's not very productive. It depends what your pressures are. If your pressures are to, if you only get paid because of the amount of work that you do, then you're screwed because you can't get anything done because people want you to physically go and see them face to face, even if they're in Barcelona and you're in Madrid. Skype and everything is very much frowned upon. Phone calls, no. Emails, no. Phone calls. Anyway. So that is the work culture, and so because we're comparing to the UK is pick up and drop as fast as possible, 0-hour contracts. Like that's just casual labour, isn't it? Really. That's like back to the days when the boss of a factory would just pull up outside a line of people and go you, and you, and that was it, and everyone else went home. That's what a 0-hour contract is. So everyone's competing hard to keep the job if they want the job. So when English people come over to Spain, the number one young English people are probably going to start in English teaching. There is so much English teaching work, so much. You will never run out. And because of the attitude to learning that the Spanish have, you will definitely never run out. There's always going to be work. So with the other way around, there is a lot of educated young Spanish people that are heading up to the UK, and they are they're trying hard to get better paid jobs, because the jobs in Spain they're not really paid that well compared to the UK. So good for them. They learn English. They get up to the UK and they get on with their life. So that's your first stop, English teaching. You can't go wrong. €15 an hour, €20 an hour. That'll get you stabilised and you know, and then you sort out a house and everything like that. You'll probably be wondering after that, I don't want to do English teaching for the rest of my life, because trust me, you don't. It really gets to you after a while. I did it for a few years and then I'm done. For sure, I'm done. So anyway, okay. So next point. So when you get after you're looking around and you're looking for new careers, there. I mean, there's basically everything that you. I mean, there's a tech industry in Madrid. There's a tourist industry down on the coast. I mean, lots of English people find good work there, start their own businesses. There's manufacturing in Spain. There's a lot of factories out in the middle ground. I assume because the land is cheap there, and there's easy access with big roads. What can I say? I mean, it's really the only disadvantage. I mean, everything that you got in the UK, but basically less wages, slightly less wages. Like, you know, for the EU citizens, it's better to go to the UK and earn more, or Germany, whatever. But if you want the sun, like I do, you're coming for the sun, so you have to expect less money. That's okay. That's fine. Quality of life. That's fine. Moving on. Shopping. Shopping, there is limited. It's limited compared to the UK. In the same proportion, as I said, with the jobs, with the income, it's like 10% less. It's like there's like things that you can't get. You can get lots of things, but there's like things that you can't get. Like, and choice seems to be a big issue. Like, it's a little stupid little thing, but I noticed that all of the houses have basically there's like very few options for kitchen furniture. So there's like little trims and bits and pieces that I've been into other people's houses, and you know, you're sitting there having a coffee, talking to them in the kitchen, and then you'll notice that's the same one from the other house, and the other house, and the other house. They're all exactly the same. There's yeah, but the big out of town stores which are appearing, Aki would be one of them. Leroy Merlin would be another. They're offering more and more and more choice, and so that's great. You know, it's slowly creeping in the choice. Also, the local businesses cater to the local needs, and I can only imagine that because Spanish people have had limited choice in the past, they just ask for the same thing again and again and again, and therefore they're just provided with the same thing again and again, and it's like a self-reinforcing circle. So shopping, I mean, limited choice, and then small shops. Oh my God, small shops. I understand that they've got, like, you know, higher overheads and smaller profit margins, but they don't give refunds. Like, you have to basically beg if there's any kind of problem. You're instantly under suspicion for asking for a refund for anything or questioning anything. They put the prices up on holidays. Can you believe that? They put the prices up on holidays. I mean, how that is just straight out profiteering. It's incredible. What else? So the hours that the shops are open, that becomes annoying. So on the one hand, it's like yin and yang, isn't it? In your job, you don't have to work as hard, you don't have to work as long, though you do have that weird siesta thing. But when you're the customer and you want to get something, it's a hassle. I can't tell you how many hours I have spent in the last 5 years waiting outside shops for shops to open. They say that they're going to open at 10, and the guy strolls in at 20 past 10. You've been standing out on the street. What else? So the shops and prices. So, as you can imagine, the things that you can't get very easily, the one person that's actually selling it, that normally is online, he wants an extortionate amount of money for it because he's the only guy. So that is a bit of a bummer, really. You want certain things, and you're really going to have to pay for them. I was looking for a travel bag recently, and like I wanted a quality travel bag, and the only brand that I could really find being sold in Spain, other than the nasty Chinese cheap stuff. By the way, there's lots of Chinese shops, and they actually open more than the Spanish shops. So this bag, the only thing I could get was Samsonite, which, like, Samsonite's really for business travelers, I think, or maybe families, but it's not. I was looking for a sports quality travel bag. Now in the UK, I wouldn't have had any problem finding that. That would have been multiple options. Here, problem. The only one that I could find was Decathlon, which is, I wouldn't say Decathlon products are high quality, but they're good value for money. But that just gives you an example. You're always stuck with the chain stores for your best option. Okay, so then quality of life. Well, the streets are cleaner. You pay more tax, but streets are cleaner. Actually, I'll do another video on tax. Do another video because it depends how you look at it. You don't pay council tax. So the streets are cleaner. The people are generally nicer. What else can I say? The quality of life. But you got beaches on your doorstep. Well, I live in Madrid, so no, I don't. But a lot of people living around the coast have got beautiful beaches. There's lots of sports because of the weather. It's all related to the weather, really. It's the main reason that most English people are here. The sun, the weather. What more can I say? Because of the weather, the houses don't deteriorate like they do in the UK, and therefore they're nicer looking. There's also been a huge construction boom in recent years, so there's lots of new modern buildings, which is great. One last thing, the last subject is bureaucracy. My God, bureaucracy in Spain is on another level. You compare that to the UK. Sometimes I think that some departments of the UK are just run by one part-time intern, because it's like everything is solved online, everything is solved the quickest way possible, which isn't necessarily always the best way possible, but it's definitely the quickest and simplest way possible. So I want to be self-employed. You fill out one form, that's it. You just sign at the bottom saying this is the date, and that's when I'm self-employed, and boom, off you go. In Spain, to become self-employed, you need to register with Social Security. You need to register with the tax office. You need to, and each step is like a mammoth, like queues and forms, and you queue just to get the form. Okay, things are changing very, very recently. Like, you can actually download some of the forms online, but for the absolute heroes that did it 5 years ago, or 10 years ago even, these people had to crawl through rivers of shit to get the simplest little thing done. So that, thankfully, is starting to change. And like I said, the UK, just speaking to a human being is if you've got a problem that doesn't fit into one of their categories and is all sorted automatically, speaking to a human being can be a bit difficult. So that's it. So I covered work culture, shopping, quality of life, and bureaucracy in Spain. Like I said, I did cover a couple of other topics that I might expand in new videos. Let me know what you want. Let me know if you're moving to the UK, you're Spanish, or let me know if you're moving to Spain, if you're English. Let me know, comment, subscribe, like, and tell me what you want to know about. Okay?